Hi, guys. Oh my goodness. There are so many purple hearts. Oh, guys, I wish. I have to not get emotional. I wish that we could all be together right now because this week has just been the most surreal and beautiful, and my heart is so grateful and so overwhelmed with gratitude and overjoyed. This film, as a lot of you guys know by now, has meant so much to me. It's been 5 or more years now of dreaming of this moment where this film would be yours, of dreaming of bringing the movie to life, of having my director, Liz Allen, trust me to be a partner with her in this, to be a producer, to write the music with the incredible Justin Tranter, and now the movie is yours, and to see the world fall in love with it as deeply as I loved being Cassie and bringing the story to life is. I told my mom last night that I no longer have any words to describe it. I'm officially out of words. But I have the most, I guess you guys know more than me because you guys have been releasing all the stats, but we're the #1 movie in the world, the #1 soundtrack, the #2 album, second only to Beyonce, the #1 best-selling book. Come Back Home is one of the most viral songs in the world, and it's almost impossible to wrap my head around all of it, and it's all happening so fast. But I couldn't be happier to be here with all of you guys today because it's all happening because of you. And I know so many of you have been in this journey with me from the very beginning for years, and for that I thank you. I thank you for believing in me and for being on this journey together, and now that we are here, I couldn't be happier to celebrate with you. So today is very exciting because when we were wrapping up the editing of the movie, I reached out to my director, Liz, and I told her that I really wanted to make sure that there was a full-length music video for Come Back Home on YouTube, so that whenever somebody wanted to watch it or listen to it, they can just search it and see it, and it's there for them. Because in our movie, as you know, it's only a small piece of the song that we get to see Cassie perform, but I actually performed the full song. And so for a little while now, we've been working on putting together a full music video, the full performance of Come Back Home that no one has actually ever seen yet up until today. And that's what we did. And we edited in together different moments and footage from the film that kind of really bring the story to life. And I'm excited for you guys to see it in less than 12 minutes. And I'm just seeing all the comments go up now, and I've never seen so many purple hearts in my entire life. I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about how we actually filmed this scene. I'm sure some of you guys might know from interviews that I've given, but this scene was actually a really interesting one to pull off. So when we were in the pre-production side of things, kind of figuring out how we were going to bring to life all these really epic concerts that we wanted for Cassie, it was difficult because we were in the middle of COVID. And something kind of meant to be happened. We got a call from a film festival in San Diego. From a music festival in San Diego. And they had invited me as Sofia Carson to headline the show. And so Liz, my director, called me, and I was already in the middle of being Cassie, preparing to be her, learning piano, producing this alongside her, finishing the music. And she said, Sophia, I don't want you to say yes if you think that this is too much, but if you headline this concert for 2 nights in a row and put on a full concert of Sofia Carson, they'll allow us as the movie crew to come on stage and film you singing Come Back Home and let it be in the movie. And in 2 seconds, I said, absolutely, 1,000% yes. And so while we were shooting the movie, I had to prepare 2 concerts, and we drove to San Diego. We were shooting all week, and then come Friday, I headlined the show with Sofia Carson. And then in the middle of the show, I told the audience that I was going to run back, quick change, and come back out as Cassie and sing a song from a movie that will be on Netflix next year and that all of you will be in the movie. So I went backstage, I changed into Cassie, I came out, I performed Come Back Home, and I'll never forget a couple of things. I got to share these 2 nights with a lot of very special people that I know some of you are probably on this live with me now. I consider you family. we met through this fan base, and you guys are family now. Maddie, Tiffany, Yocasta, Sarah, so many fans that traveled actually a long way to be here for this performance that are actually in the movie. So I thank you guys for being there for this. And my mom was there too. And then my whole cast came to be with me, even if they weren't in the scene. And at the end of the very first time that I sang Come Back Home, I have in-ears on, right? So usually it's hard to hear the audience. I heard the entire audience sing, "Come back home." And it was like out of a dream. I had chills. I was holding back tears because I had been dreaming of this moment in our movie since I first read the script 5 years ago. And it was so surreal to feel it come to life. And we did that for 2 nights. And that's how we captured Come Back Home. And we actually wrote this song almost to the day a year ago. I had the honor of writing the soundtrack with the incredible Justin Tranter. And Come Back Home was the hardest one for us to write because it was such a pivotal moment in our movie. It's a song that so beautifully captures the essence of our film. It's the moment when Cassie's heart starts to melt and her world begins to change because she's falling for this man that she never imagined she could ever love, which is terrifying. And at the same time, she's opened her eyes into this world that she was, I guess, raised or conditioned to also hate. And though she hasn't changed her views, the one thing that has changed is that she's now seeing this world with compassion and empathy and witnessing the sacrifice that these men and women make with compassion and empathy. And so we had to capture all of that into this song, Come Back Home. And it took us 2 tries, and by the time we wrote the second try, we knew this was our song. The soul, the passion, the heart of our film was so beautifully captured in these melodies and in these words and lyrics. And it was really emotional bringing it to life and recording it. But we all knew it was the one. And so I just can't believe that it now belongs to the world and that the world is loving it as much as it is. It's so surreal. A couple of days ago, I performed it live for the very first time here in Italy. And at the same time that I was performing, our movie was going #1 around the world. And it's absolutely surreal. So I think I have spoken more than enough. And I know that you guys had sent in questions that I wanted to answer. You guys are, okay, you guys are just incredible. So many flags, so many hearts, I adore you guys with all my heart. I have questions that I wrote that you guys submitted. I hand wrote them, so don't laugh at me, I'm a nerd. The first question is, would you make an album similar in sound to Cassie and the Loyal? And the answer is yes. I think when we wrote the soundtrack and we tapped into the sound, I think we tapped into a part of me that I hadn't tapped into before. And I've always gravitated towards soulful ballads, and rock and soulful rock, which is very much what Cassie's heart is. And, music is a journey, and I think I've definitely found my voice in a different way through this film. What is one thing that I learned from my character? Going into this film, this is our little secret, I was so scared, guys. I was terrified. I had put a tremendous amount of pressure on myself because it was my first time being a producer, writing a soundtrack, and also being the lead. And Cassie herself is a woman that I knew, or I hoped, was going to mean so much to so many people, and I needed to tell her story as honestly, as truthfully, and as vulnerably as it demanded to be told. And as you guys know, it was a very emotionally complex story, and I was just so scared that I couldn't. I get emotional just thinking about it. And I remember being on the phone with my mom and telling her that. And being Cassie and becoming her, she taught me and she reminded me that I am fearless too. Because Cassie is fearless. She's unafraid. She's brave. And so in being her, I remembered that I was too. And I'll always cherish her for that. Okay, we have 5 minutes till the video. Next one. Which song touches my heart the most? That's a tough one because I find them that each really capture different emotions within the film. But I think Come Back Home just moves you in a way that is special. I would say Come Back Home and I Didn't Know. Let's see. Brazil loves me. I love you, Brazil. Te amo infinito. Were there any unplanned scenes? So, working with my director, Liz, is a dream, and I owe everything to her. The film, her believing in me, her believing that I could be Cassie. The heart of this film is Liz Allen. And so she loved also having Nick and I play because our chemistry was so great and so real just when we were off camera. She really wanted to bring that onto camera. So it felt like we weren't acting. So even though there weren't necessarily unplanned scenes, there were a lot of moments within scenes that were improvised. For instance, there's a really pivotal conversation between Cassie and Luke when Cassie first proposes this fake marriage to Frankie, and Luke steps in and says that it's fraud. Liz just had me improvise for like 5 minutes, yelling at Nick about what he was telling me, about my thoughts and my passion about immigration and immigrant rights and illegal immigrants and all of that. And so she let me kind of go off as Cassie, and I went off for like 5 minutes, and that's what made it in the movie. Another scene that wasn't necessarily unplanned, but it was different than originally written. You guys know the moment when Luke and Cassie are in bed after they're in the bath, and he just kisses her forehead. That was originally written to be different, and I fought for a very long time for that moment just to be a kiss on the forehead because it felt so vulnerable and so beautiful, and even that much more terrifying for these two people to be so comfortable and so vulnerable with each other in that moment. So I'm really happy that's how that scene ended up. What inspired Come Back Home? Well, I think we touched upon that a little bit, but Come Back Home, Liz really wanted this song to be the anthem of our movie, for it to capture the essence of our movie, which is these two people from two different worlds, one red, one blue, who were raised really to hate each other. Through the power of love and compassion and empathy and kindness, really see each other as human beings and love each other. And that is the heart of our movie. That is what, to me, the Purple Heart symbolizes. And if love can bring these two broken hearts together, if love can teach these two broken hearts to love each other and to see each other for men and women and human beings, love is what the world needs now more than ever. So that was not only the inspiration for Come Back Home, but I think our guiding light in making this movie. We have 2 minutes left, guys. I'm going to try to answer some of the questions that you're sending here. Hola, Ecuador. Hola, Venezuela. I'm seeing so many requests for Purple Hearts Part 2, which makes me so happy. Someone just asked how long it took me to write the songs, and believe it or not, we wrote the soundtrack in 1 week, which is pretty surreal and incredible, but I think it was a testament to how passionate we were about this and how quickly connected we became to Cassie and to her story, and it was just magical. Okay, I think we only have 1 minute left, and until this time runs out and the video starts playing, I just want to tell you that I love you with all my heart. My heart is forever colored purple and forever beating for you, and I couldn't be more grateful to each and every single one of you. And thank you for being on this journey with me. I hope you love the video. I can't wait to hear what you think about it when you see it, and I love you, 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 as I've been saying for the past year, but now you guys can finally understand what I meant. Be still, my purple heart. I love you guys. Okay, I think any second now, you're going to see the video.